Ever scrolled through your favorite online store, filled your cart with those must-have items, only to be slightly deflated by the total at checkout? We've all been there, right? That moment where you think, man, I wish I could spread this out a little. Well, that's where the magic of buy now, pay later services comes in, and chances are, you've heard of Sezzle. But lately, there's been a new kid on the block, or rather, an evolved version in the Sezzle family, Sezzle Up. Now, if you're already familiar with standard Sezzle, you might be scratching your head wondering, Sezzle Up? What's the difference? Is it just a fancy name, or is there something actually up about it? That's exactly what we're going to dive into today. We'll explore what Sezzle Up is, how it works, and most importantly, how it stacks up against the Sezzle you might already know and love. Get ready to have your BNPL questions answered. To really understand Sezzle Up, it's helpful to first have a solid grasp of what standard Sezzle offers. At its core, Sezzle is a buy now, pay later platform that allows you to split your online purchases into 4 interest-free payments spread over 6 weeks. You typically make your first payment at the time of purchase, and the remaining 3 are automatically scheduled every 2 weeks. This can be a fantastic way to manage your budget, especially when you need or want something now, but prefer not to pay the full amount up front. Standard Sezzle has become incredibly popular due to its ease of use and the fact that it's interest-free, as long as you make your payments on time. It integrates seamlessly with countless online retailers, offering a convenient payment option right at checkout. The approval process is usually quick, and for many, it's been a game changer in how they shop online. So, where does Sezzle Up fit into this picture? Think of Sezzle Up as the souped-up version, offering more flexibility and potentially larger purchasing power. While standard Sezzle primarily focuses on splitting purchases into those 4 interest-free installments, Sezzle Up introduces the possibility of longer payment terms and the ability to finance larger purchases. One of the key differentiators of Sezzle Up is the introduction of installment loans with varying durations. Instead of being limited to just the 6-week, 4-payment structure, Sezzle Up can offer plans that extend over several months, potentially up to 48 months in some cases. This opens the door to financing more significant purchases that might have been out of reach with standard Sezzle's shorter repayment window. Another significant difference lies in the potential for interest charges. While standard Sezzle prides itself on being interest-free for its core 4-payment structure, Sezzle Up's longer-term installment loans may include interest. The specific interest rates and terms will depend on factors such as your creditworthiness, the purchase amount, and the chosen repayment plan. It's crucial to carefully review the terms and conditions associated with any Sezzle Up loan to understand the total cost of borrowing. Furthermore, Sezzle Up often involves a more in-depth credit assessment compared to standard Sezzle. While standard Sezzle does perform a soft credit check, Sezzle Up might involve a more thorough review, especially for larger loan amounts and longer repayment periods. This allows them to assess the risk associated with offering extended credit. Let's break down the key distinctions in a more structured way. Payment structure. Standard Sezzle primarily offers 4 interest-free payments over 6 weeks. Sezzle Up offers installment loans with varying durations, potentially extending up to several years. Interest. Standard Sezzle, generally interest-free if payments are made on time. Late fees may apply. Sezzle Up may include interest charges depending on the loan terms and your credit profile. Purchase limits. Standard Sezzle typically has lower purchase limits, suitable for smaller to medium-sized transactions. These limits can increase over time with responsible usage. Sezzle Up often allows for financing larger purchases that exceed the limits of standard Sezzle. Credit assessment. Standard Sezzle usually involves a soft credit check. Sezzle Up may involve a more comprehensive credit review, especially for longer-term loans. Use cases. Standard Sezzle, ideal for everyday purchases like clothing, electronics, beauty products, and smaller home goods where you want to spread out the cost over a short period without incurring interest. Sezzle Up, Designed for larger, more significant purchases such as furniture, appliances, higher-end electronics, or even services, where a longer repayment period is more manageable. Think of it this way. Standard Sezzle is like using a short-term, interest-free layaway plan that you get to take home immediately. Sezzle Up, on the other hand, is more akin to a traditional installment loan, but often integrated directly within the shopping experience. Now, you might be wondering when you would choose one over the other. The decision largely depends on a few key factors. The purchase amount. For smaller purchases that comfortably fit within the standard Sezzle's typical spending limits and your budget over 6 weeks, standard Sezzle is likely the more appealing option, especially with its interest-free structure. If you're looking to finance a more substantial purchase, Sezzle Up becomes a viable alternative. Your budget and repayment ability. Consider your monthly budget and how comfortably you can manage the bi-weekly payments of standard Sezzle versus the potentially smaller, but longer-term, monthly payments of a Sezzle Up loan. While longer terms can make individual payments seem more manageable, remember that you might be paying interest over a longer period with Sezzle Up. Interest sensitivity. If avoiding interest charges is your top priority and your purchase can be accommodated by standard Sezzle's terms, then that's the clear winner. If you need a longer repayment period and are comfortable with the possibility of paying interest, Sezzle Up provides that flexibility. Creditworthiness. Your credit profile might influence your eligibility for Sezzle Up and the interest rates offered. If you have a strong credit history, you're likely to qualify for more favorable terms. It's important to note that the availability of Sezzle Up as a payment option might vary, depending on the retailer and your individual Sezzle account standing. Not all merchants that offer standard Sezzle will necessarily offer Sezzle Up, and your eligibility for Sezzle Up loans will be subject to Sezzle's internal approval processes. In conclusion, while both standard Sezzle and Sezzle Up aim to provide flexible buy now, pay later solutions, they cater to slightly different needs and purchase sizes. Standard Sezzle offers the convenience of interest-free, short-term financing for smaller to medium purchases, while Sezzle Up expands on this by providing longer-term installment loans for potentially larger amounts, albeit often with interest. Understanding these key differences will empower you to make informed decisions about which option best suits your individual financial situation and shopping needs. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.